Dan,
Yes.
I met you yesterday.
Yes.
And I
We're
feel
instantly best friends.
I feel like I've known you forever because I love who you are, what you stand for, and what you're doing.
I'm having a great time. It's the point in my career and my life when paying forward, giving back, the other cliches are the priority.
I love that so much. So if you don't know me, I'm Megan. My company is SwiftPaws. We make dog toys. We were on Shark Tank season 13. I started my company kind of inadvertently right out of graduating with my bachelor's degree. And I wish that I had known about, that it had been a thing, that I could have participated in one of the amazing camps and programs that you run. So tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So the program that I'm founded and love and am living is a youth entrepreneurship program sponsored by Inc. magazine, the Bible of entrepreneurship. I'm doing this following an entrepreneurial journey of my own, 20-year journey. I started, led, grew, and sold a business called the MBA Exchange, which was a career and education advisory firm.
Okay.
We helped generally 20-somethings to identify and pursue the next step for them.
Yeah.
Typically a graduate school, an MBA at a top school, or some career change or redirection of their career.
Yeah.
So I love that. It was a great business.
And so needed, because I think when I graduated, it was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life.
Yes.
And I was ambitious and I wanted to learn, but I just didn't have that North Star.
Yes.
And I think something like that provides so much value for people at that point in their careers.
And starting to build yourself to be an attractive commodity for those that need to buy that.
And you don't always learn that in school.
No. Well, altruism and confidence and charm are not enough.
It's true.
You need some tangible goods, right? So that's what that business did, and I loved it for 20 years. I sold that in 2016. I retired for a weekend.
A weekend?
I was bored.
I didn't know that.
I needed to mentor and coach, and so I looked at the marketplace and said, where can I go now? What can I do? And I looked at programs for teens in entrepreneurship, and I looked at them, and there were really two kinds. One was a very academic, dry, esoteric yawner of a program, which kids would not love. The other was focused really on high tech, Silicon Valley, all that. I felt there was a lot of room in the middle for something for a teenager that did not know exactly what they wanted to do, whether they even wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so I looked at the programs out there and said, what could be different about mine?
Yeah.
One was getting high school teachers, not board assistant professors from colleges to teach, but getting certified entrepreneurship teachers that taught this and could relate to teens.
Yeah.
So I got them. Then I wanted a media sponsor, right?
Yeah.
So Inc. magazine is the natural.
Yeah,
they love the
fit.
idea, and so they agreed to be the sponsor. So basically now I source mentors, coaches, and pitch judges from the Inc. 5000, of which I'm a member, fastest growing companies in America, but now Shark Tank. Last year I had 3 Shark Tank alums. They're the best. And so they invited me to come to this meeting and meet more. I have 10, already in one day I have 10 speakers for next year.
And I hope you'll consider me for something along the way.
Absolutely.
If you have a pet cohort, you count me in.
Your story is so cool.
And thank you. I think I was sharing, we had this really cool reception yesterday evening, and I shared with you how I had got a degree in economics, but my school had a management fellows sort of program that focused on entrepreneurship.
What school was it again?
DePaul University
yes.
in Indiana.
Yep.
And it was the first time in my life that something was sort of catering towards entrepreneurship and something other than exiting with a bachelor's degree and either going for that next level degree or entering into sort of a corporate level workplace. I am fortunate that I grew up surrounded by entrepreneurs. My parents, I've got an uncle, multiple uncles with patents.
All the role models were there.
Yes, and so for me, it was a possibility and an option. And I think for so many kids, if that's never been in their even periphery.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think what you're doing is opening up and expanding that horizon, because one of the best outcomes would be a kid does a program like that and goes, might not be for me.
Exactly. The other thing is there's once you gain entrepreneurial skills, they're applicable to anything. Who would
Everything.
not want an employee that's, innovative, creative, confident, high EQ? So,
Somebody who can look at a problem and start brainstorming for resources and
Yes.
can go to, maybe they say, you know what, maybe I could be an incredible asset
yep,
at a high growth company or an earlier stage startup.
Yes.
Maybe they come in and they become an integral part of a team.
totally.
And I think we need more programs like that.
Yes.
It sounds like you guys are in many schools now.
We're on 6 college campuses:
It's incredible.
Yale, Columbia, Duke, Michigan, Berkeley, and UCLA.
And you cover the country.
Cover the
phenomenal.
country. Yes.
That's phenomenal.
And the kids come from everywhere. 1,000 kids from all over the world.
And,
Monaco,
and is it all
China,
high school age?
All high school age.
Ah,
9th
absolutely
grade to
brilliant.
12.
It's the right time too, because I think one thing that so many people do is we inadvertently put pressure on students who are that age.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
Yes.
You
when
better
grow up.
know. You better know right now that you're gonna be exactly this,
Yeah.
or you're behind. And I love letting people in that age of life know it's okay to explore.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. And I think so many students they're so eager, and that's such a brilliant thing to have that energy. And they sometimes want to go out there and they want to land that management role right out of school.
Yes.
It's like, you might learn more if you go and intern for somebody who's on a rocket ship ride.
Totally.
And you get to see that happen.
Well, the exposure to folks like Shark Tank alums in this program, it flips the switch and lights them up, because they're seeing an adult who's talking about what they do with a smile on their face,
Who's enjoying it?
who's loving it, not just enjoying it, loving it, passionate about it.
Yeah.
And they love that energy level. And frankly, the entrepreneurs that meet these kids want to come back the next year, because they've been turned on by the questions and the awe with which they're viewed.
You get as much as you give. And I think I shared with you that I did two things. I was really lucky to be a recipient of a scholarship that is jointly funded by our Congress in Germany. And I got to go to Germany for a year on a vocational scholarship. And I'll plug it, it's CBYX. It's an amazing scholarship program. They've got 3 components: high school, vocational, gap year, and then young professional. And had I not done that, I might not have changed gears. I actually changed gears, and that's what led me to DePauw. I was pretty set on where I was going and what my path was going to be, and it opened my horizons.
How old were you at that point?
18. Right at that age.
Perfect.
And so I think that is the perfect time to open up a little bit of that window and just say what else is out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for parents that don't come from business backgrounds, there's a leap of faith there. They look for, like a STEM program. I want my child to, be grounded in science and math and so on. And that's not for everybody.
Or to always have a degree with job security.
Yes.
There is not a guaranteed job security with entrepreneurship.
There isn't, but there's always that rebound.
Yes.
An entrepreneur, many of the folks I've met here today, they're on their 2nd, 3rd, 4th business.
Yeah.
It's the same mojo, the same juice that gets them to leave something that's not fulfilling and move on to something that rings their bell at that moment.
Yeah, and I think it teaches you to pursue your passions, because sort of like choose your hard.
Yeah.
Working for somebody else is hard, working for yourself is hard.
Yes.
And when you've really committed yourself to giving it a go, I think you learn how strong you really are too. And you push yourself to achieve things that you might not have done if you kind of had a cushy little setup going on.
Well, resilience is a skill that will last a lifetime.
It is, and it's something that is really hard to teach out of a textbook.
Yeah.
So much of it is experiential.
Well, it's funny, but entrepreneurship is the only career where serial, the word before it, is a good thing.
Is positive.
Who wants a serial actuary or a serial accountant, who's changed and jumped?
Who's jumped and jumped and
yes.
jumped.
But it's a badge of honor among entrepreneurs.
I was listening to a podcast recently, and the guest managed a large VC, and he said, one of my favorite things to do is invest in a founder who has just come off of a failure.
Oh.
Because they know
exactly
what they're never going to do again.
I love that.
Isn't that something? A really interesting way of saying it.
Well, you see that on Shark Tank, how they're drawn, they lean forward in their chairs when they hear someone see someone with a tear in their eye.
What you've come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it tells you something about a person's ability to learn and move on
fortitude.
Yeah. Well, Dan, I hope this is the first of many chats. And it's been a pleasure meeting you. I'm so glad that we're all here learning from each other.
My pleasure. I want to give one plug if I may.
Please do.
So the program is called NSLC, National Student Leadership Conference, Business and Entrepreneurship, in partnership with Inc. Magazine. That's the
Amazing.
long name of it. The landing page for anyone who's interested is N as in Nancy, SLC, Leaders, LEADERS, NSLCleaders.org/Inc. Business, INCBUSINESS.
That's great. And what is the application window? Like, when is it?
It's wide open now.
Wow, okay.
The program starts end of June.
Okay.
Again, we're on 6 campuses, multiple sessions. And so, don't delay in getting some information about it. And we'll have 1,000 kids from all over the world, which is the other benefit of networking. It's just a joy from any perspective. So thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for the good questions. I love your business, and I wish I had a dog. I have a grand dog.
A grand dog.
Yes.
Well, we'll hook that grand dog up
This
with
is for you, Georgia.
with some toys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.